Imagine this, you start a blood transfusion, everything looks normal, and within minutes, your patient suddenly develops chills, fever, breathing difficulty, or a drop in blood pressure. What would you do first? In this video, I'll show you the blood transfusion procedure step by step. Let's begin. Who all have visited first time on this channel, please do subscribe and watch. First, we'll see what is blood transfusion. Theory: administration of blood or blood components through IV access. Common components include packed RBCs, platelets, fresh, frozen plasma, cryoprecipitate. That is nothing but it contains high amounts of fibrinogen, factor 8, von Willebrand factor, and then factor 13, and fibronectin. Given when clinically indicated. Next, we'll see the equipments required for this procedure. Prescribed blood component, blood administration set with appropriate filter, patient IV access, 0.9% sodium chloride when appropriate, gloves, PPE as required, and then vital signs monitoring equipment, IV supplies, documentation materials, and then always follow institutional policy. Okay. Before transfusion, preparation and assessment is very important. Verify prescription or order. Explain procedure to patient. Confirm consent according to policy. Assess IV access. Check relevant laboratory results. And then review transfusion history or allergies as appropriate. Record baseline vital signs and then perform hand hygiene. Most critical step. Patient and blood verification. This is very important. We need to stop, check, match. That is verify according to institutional policy. Patient identify using approved identifiers. Blood group and compatibility. Blood or component type. Unit or donation number. Expiry date and time. Required special characteristics. Transfusion documentation. Use the required independent bedside checks. This is the most critical step. Starting the transfusion. Here, perform hand hygiene and then use aseptic technique. Prepare blood administration set. Prime that connect according to policy and then confirm IV patency. Start at prescribed rate. Observe patient closely, especially initially. We need to observe. Never compromise on identification. This is must and should. Never ever. Next, monitoring during transfusion. We need to what? Check and respond. Here we need to monitor temperature, pulse, blood pressure, respiratory status, IV site, and then general condition. Next, watch for fever or chills, rashes or itching, breathing difficulty, chest or back pain, nausea, hypotension, and then anxiety or sudden deterioration. The person condition getting worse. Next, suspected transfusion reaction. Stop the transfusion immediately if you suspect any reaction. After stopping transfusion, immediately assess the patient. Immediately check vital signs. After that, maintain IV access using appropriate compatible fluid as per policy. And then immediately notify responsible clinician immediately. And then notify blood bank or transfusion service. Recheck patient and blood products identification. And then follow institutional reaction protocols. And then send required blood or bag or even tubing or specimens as instructed. Do not restart unless specifically authorized. Next, after transfusion. After blood transfusion, reassess patient. We need to reassess. Assess the patient and then record required vital signs. Assess IV site and then monitor for delayed symptoms and then dispose of equipment safely and then follow blood bag disposal or return policy and then complete documentation. Common nursing mistakes. Common mistakes we need to avoid during blood transfusion procedure. Here we'll see incorrect patient identification, skipping baseline vital signs, inadequate blood product verification, poor patient monitoring, ignoring early symptoms, failure to stop transfusion when a reaction is suspected, and then incomplete documentation. These are the common mistakes everyone do that we need to avoid. Next, easy memory formula. Okay, we need to verify. After that, we need to assess. We need to start the procedure, monitoring, respond, and then document. Your safe blood transfusion is by right patient, right blood, right checks, and then right monitoring. And then here final takeaway. We need to remember, identify before you infuse, verify carefully, monitor continuously, and then recognize reactions early, act immediately, and then document accurately. Here, patient safety comes first. If you like this procedure, give it a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative topics. Thank you for watching.